I woke up on August 22nd, 2014, with half of my face paralyzed. My husband thought I was having a stroke. I had to. This is basically my progress. It took me approximately 3 months to recover. There are days where I still feel some of the slight effects of Bell's palsy. It was a scary experience, but I got through it. You can come out the other side. Happy New Year 2015, YouTubers. This is Sassy Sarah coming to you after about a year away. It's been filled with many joys and many lows, and I wanted to take some time today not to share about crafting or being creative, but just about an experience that taught me some deep lessons. And in August of 2014, I began to feel a very funny kind of achy feeling in my jaw. And I spent about a couple of days, I would say at least 3 days, where I just kept massaging my jaw, opening it and closing it. It was feeling very, very tight. And I thought I was going to have to end up going to the dentist. Well, on Thursday, August 21st, I began to notice that my eye started like twitching. It was kind of twitching a lot. And I kind of disregarded it because I was under some stress, and I just thought it was probably related to that. And I also thought that maybe that's why I was developing TMI. I thought it had to do with my jaw because it was hurting. And now all this, I was like, oh my gosh, it's because I'm stressed out. When I woke up on Friday, April 22nd, the right side of my face was completely paralyzed. And I felt really horrible. I felt very tired and fatigued. And yet I couldn't quite notice that it was paralyzed. It was a very strange experience. Again, I just kept feeling, I thought it was that my jaw, something was going on. And what ended up happening was that I fell asleep because I was so tired, and I thought maybe I could sleep it off. When my husband got home that evening, he basically just took one look at me and was like, what's wrong with your face? Like, one of my eyes was not closing, the other one was. I noticed the change really when I tried to drink some water, and the water just dribbled down my mouth and I couldn't drink. I couldn't really do it. He immediately asked me to smile, and when I did smile, I saw the shock and the concern in his eyes. And so he was like, you need to get ready. We have to go to the hospital right away. And the truth is, we thought I was having a stroke. When I got to the hospital, the nurse thought the same thing. The nurse thought that I was having a stroke. And she took my blood pressure, she took everything, and she walked me personally to the back of the ER and asked the doctors to treat me right away because they thought I was experiencing that. I had at least 5 doctors just surrounding me and asking me questions and making me do exercises, and it was a very scary experience. I was only 39 at that point, and I was just so confused, and I couldn't really figure out what was going on, and could I really be having a stroke? After some testing, some motor skill testings, and I got a CAT scan, the first diagnosis from one of the doctors was, no, she's not having a stroke. It appears to be Bell's palsy. But it couldn't be confirmed until after the CAT scan, which cleared me. However, the suspicion was still that there could be other things that could be affecting me. And I got admitted to the hospital that night really quickly. And I spent I went in on Friday, and I didn't come out of the hospital till I believe it was that Wednesday of the following week. And, I had nerve testing done. I had a lot of things done, and a lot of questions, my story being repeated 1,000 times. It was a very scary thing because we didn't know what really caused it. And if you research Bell's palsy, some people say that it has to do with, it might be connected to the herpes virus, which causes cold sores. Um, some other people say it's caused by kind of like a post-traumatic stress type of event. And I have both. I have cold sores that I do get. And I also came out of a very traumatizing experience from my prior job. So it was, both things were actually doable, and I was under a lot of pressure. And so what ended up happening was that, and I'll show you some pictures later on, is that I could not close my eyes. So I had to have a patch, to sleep with a patch over my eye. And my eye would not close, and so basically they tape you up, and you always have to have it covered because it could scratch your cornea, and you don't realize how much you need your eyelids until you have Bell's palsy. I think the other thing that really that I really realized and missed was my smile. And as hard as I tried to smile, it looked distorted. I just could lift up half of my face and it looked very strange. So I used a straw for many months. I could not smile for many months. And it could get a little emotionally depressing and tough. But, you just have to press through that. And the truth is, you don't really have a certain prognosis of how or when you're going to get healed. The truth is that it can last up to a year. And I would say that I got better probably maybe 4 months into it, where I could actually now smile and my smile is back, where I could close my eyes at the same time, where I could close one eye because I couldn't do that as well. And, you really want to hide the entire time because who wants, you don't want to see anyone like that. And in addition to not wanting to see anyone like that, it's just the actual physical aspect of it, of going outside and having the wind hit your eye and the sunlight hitting your eye, and you can't close it. And so you have to walk around either with shades, but your eye is continually tearing the entire time. I mean, it's not that you're crying, it's just you're tearing and your eye is tearing. And your muscle, it feels tight. It just feels like a numbness that covers you, like you've come out of the dentist and they've shot you up a Novocaine and you can't move it. And so not knowing how long it was going to take, and, I have a family to take care of, it was very disconcerting, but I thank God that it took about 3 months, 3 months for everything to look kind of normal. I still have some residual feelings, like even now as I'm talking, I feel some slight tingling under my eye. There are times when I feel a little tension in my jaw, but I would say that I'm really back to normal. It's just those small things. And so, if you have Bell's palsy or you just found out that you have Bell's palsy, or you know a friend, I would just say it will pass. It shall pass. And that's the hardest thing to do, is wait for it to pass. They gave me a list of exercises, and in the beginning I was doing them, just little facial exercises to do. And then I was reading articles that said, don't do the facial exercises because you might get a nerve damage where it's permanent. And then at that point I didn't want to do that either. But anyhow, I just kind of did a little bit of something with my lips and with my mouth, some facial exercises. But I just waited it out. And I thank God that I'm kind of back to normal. And, just don't let it affect you. And it will pass. You will get better. You just have to wait it out. And I hope that you have family and friends to support you in the process as you're doing that. So YouTubers, I hope the pictures that I'm going to show next will show a little bit of my experience, and just know that it won't be permanent. Bye.